Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So some disappointing news in regards to the Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk undercard. Of course, Serhii Bohachuk was scheduled to face Ismael Madrimov in a very intriguing fight at 154. However, Ismael Madrimov has pulled out due to apparently suffering from bronchitis. Now, of course, more to this one, in my opinion, Ismael Madrimov, last week it was announced that he would also be fighting on the mega card in February 22nd to be exact, 2 months later, against Virgil Ortiz, and many of us were like, almost speechless that he was willing to go through with that, Bohachuk, and then 2 months later, Virgil Ortiz. Like, it wasn't a given that he would beat Bohachuk, let alone get through that fight winning and not sustaining a serious amount of damage, because even if he won, there was a chance that he would not be ready for the Virgil Ortiz fight. If he got a cut, if he suffered a hand fracture, something like this. So it was crazy when we heard that news that he was going to fight back-to-back in 2 months against two real dangerous opponents. However, he's now pulled out of the fight with Serhii Bohachuk. Have to be that guy, did they bite off more than they could chew here? Talking about Turkey Al Sheikh, Riyadh season, and the whole Saudi Arabia involvement in boxing. Did they bite off more than they could chew? Maybe Ismael Madrimov's team did. But given the circumstances, I think it's fair to ask, is this illness legitimate? Is it real? Because for me, it does seem rather convenient, to be honest with you. It does seem rather convenient, getting a big fight with Virgil Ortiz. You're scheduled to fight Bohachuk just 2 months before. Ortiz comes with more prestige, I guess. He's a bigger name, despite Bohachuk arguably beating Ortiz. But, the Ortiz fight is without doubt bigger. So it kind of makes sense for Ismael Madrimov to pull out in one way or another, right? So yeah, man, it's disappointing news for the Usyk-Fury undercard in general, because it definitely takes away from it. Serhii Bohachuk is still fighting on the card. He's fighting a late notice replacement from the UK named Ismael Davis. Now, Ismael Davis has done this once before when it comes to the Saudi cards. He did it for the Joshua Dubois card where Josh Kelly was supposed to fight Liam Smith. Liam Smith pulled out, and Ismael Davis came in at a week's notice to fight Josh Kelly. Now, he lost that fight to Josh Kelly, but it was a close and competitive fight. You could tell that Ismael Davis was rusty early on, not much training going into that fight, obviously. But as that fight closed out, he was starting to make it really hard for Josh Kelly. Josh Kelly just about won it, but he was in a bit of trouble in the end. Apparently this time around, Ismael Davis has been training, waiting for an opportunity. Apparently he was scheduled to fight anyway. So theoretically he should be coming into this fight in better shape than he did with Josh Kelly. Issue for him is that obviously Bohachuk is a much better fighter than Josh Kelly. He's going to ask a lot more questions, has a lot more power, a lot fitter, a lot stronger, and just more proven at world level. Bohachuk has proven to be a very good pressure fighter at a pretty high level, and that could be bad for Ismael Davis, especially considering his style combined with the lack of experience. When I've seen Ismael Davis fight, there is some ability there. He's a fighter who can fight both out of the orthodox and southpaw stances, and he comes in with a very side-on profile. If I had to describe his style, primarily I would call him a bit of a sharpshooter. That's what he likes to do. He likes to sit in that sort of side profile, pouring his lead hand, and he likes to fire the straight left or straight right hand, whether he's fighting orthodox or southpaw. He likes to pick his punches. He likes to take his time and find the openings, kind of thing. The issue for him is that Bohachuk works so hard. He throws so many punches. He closes the distance down pretty quickly. And, in recent fights, he's shown a better ability to tuck up and stay compact doing a little bit better job of defending himself than he did earlier in his career. And when I look at Ismael Davis, I don't think he's got the experience, power, and quite frankly, the ability to work with Bohachuk for 12 rounds. I don't think he can keep up with the work rate of Bohachuk. I know he showed in the Josh Kelly fight towards the end that he's changed his style up. He was applying a lot more front foot pressure. But that's Josh Kelly, man. Like, that's Josh Kelly. And, you know, Ismael Davis wasn't having to work hard at the start of that fight up until, like, the middle to late rounds. You know, it was just a boxing match, a low-output boxing match. He didn't have to work hard, so he had the stamina to push it at the end. Does he have the stamina to go, like, a hard 12 with a guy like Bohachuk? Not sure. He doesn't have the experience, and I'm not convinced he has the power to really take advantage of the opportunities that Bohachuk will obviously give him. Yeah, Bohachuk's tucked up a lot better recently. He's defended himself a lot better, but he is still there to be hit. You know, whether it be a straight, which is arguably Ismael Davis's best punch, whether it be southpaw or orthodox, or even a lead uppercut, which Ismael Davis is quite good at throwing. Those shots will be there for Ismael Davis, but I'm not sure he can really put a dent in Bohachuk. You know, I think Bohachuk right now, his confidence is going to be high, despite coming off a loss. You know, in that Virgil Ortiz fight, he surprised a lot of people. You know, really took Virgil to the trenches. And obviously the fight before that, he beat the tough contender in Brian Mendoza. You know, and quite frankly, Ismael Davis hasn't fought anywhere near this level. I think Ismael Davis actually will have his moments. Ismael Davis seems the type, while he likes to box the way he does, I think if you disrupt him from that, he'll eventually switch things up. We saw that against Josh Kelly. I think he'll get dragged into a fight here with Bohachuk, and I think it will end badly for him. To be honest with you, probably get stopped mid to late, I'd say. He's a strong dude, but I just don't think he's got the experience. I just don't think he's got the power. But I do expect him to make a decent fist of it. You know, I don't think he's going to get blown out as such. But yeah, he'll get beaten, and beaten soundly. You know, but he'll make it a fight, I'm sure. But ultimately, you know, it's disappointing news when it comes to the Fury-Usyk 2 undercard. And when you look at it, it's probably the weakest undercard we've ever seen from one of these Saudi Arabian shows. So there we go, you know, weakest card, I would say. But obviously, the main event sells itself, so it is what it is. Anyway, share your thoughts below. Do you think Ismael Davis can do anything against Bohachuk? Like I said, I think he'll have some moments of success, but ultimately, he'll be overwhelmed and probably get stopped. That's how I see it. Anyway, share your thoughts below. Beanie Guy Del Boy, peace.